Basketball. Tonight, the Coon Rapids Cardinals host the Irondale Knights. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro sidelines for tonight's action. 2, 2, and 3 teams, Howie, both looking to get things turned around.
Yeah, you know, they're very similar teams, according to head coach Bullock. They're very scrappy, they're very aggressive, and you know, I think this is an opportunity here at home for Coon Rapids to get their second win in a row after a big win last night up in Duluth.
Yeah, the Cardinals beating the Duluth East Greyhounds last night. Meanwhile, Irondale coming off a huge loss and trying to bounce back. They lost to Elk River on Tuesday night, 76-18. Three-pointer off the glass and in for Kalen Jester.
And that's the way Irondale wants to start. And you're seeing them being very aggressive defensively. And committing the turnover.
Ashley Flatham trapped in the front court, turns it over. Irondale trying to get out to that big lead early. They left Jester open again for three, but waited too long, and now a pass eludes Izzy Herlovsky out of bounds. Turnover back to Coon Rapids.
Yeah, we talked about both teams. Coon Rapids coming off a 68-49 win at Duluth East, and Irondale last Tuesday a 76-18 loss to Elk River.
Knights again with a steal, trapping Lainey Hanneman this time as she crossed center court. This is Jester on the right side, trying to get it inside. Their big scorer is Dora Akpara. Misses the left-handed layup, the rebound by Post.
Akpara trying to be aggressive underneath, and she's averaging a little over 15 points a game.
No one else on the team averaging, I believe, over about 6, 7. So they expect her to do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to scoring.
You have one player, Araceli Engel, averaging a little over 7 points a game. No one else averaging 5 points a game. Everybody under that.
Destiny Artist looking for a way inside. Ball knocked free. Irondale on the run the other way. Engel up and in, and a 5-0 lead for the Knights early.
Knights have come out very aggressively, and they're pressing again, giving Coon Rapids trouble getting the ball up court. And they're
timeout by the Cardinals early on, not liking the defensive pressure they are facing from Irondale. A couple of turnovers early, and they find themselves behind 5-0.
Coach Peterson was not happy with that effort so far that she's seen from her squad. And when she called that timeout, she had a look of displeasure on her face.
Well, 2 quick turnovers and then a possession where they got in and passed it around a bit and then turned it over. And before they get their chance in the offensive end for the 4th time, they want to settle things down, make sure everybody's on the same page.
And more importantly, they want to try and get in a flow, and Irondale's doing a good job defensively of keeping them out of their flow.
Lexi West to inbound from in front of the Cardinal bench. And Destiny Artis will start things forward for the Cardinals. Artis calling the defense. Herlovsky out to defend. Post brings the pick. Artis goes right, hands off to Hanneman. Up top, little pump fake and drive for the foul by Macy Holland.
And again, the Cardinals, they want to be aggressive as well. They want to work inside if they can to push the ball back out to their perimeter shooters.
Foul called before the shot, so Cardinal ball underneath the Irondale basket. And a foul called before the ball was inbounded. 2 quick ones against the Knights. This one going against Jester.
Coach Bullock looking for an explanation from our official.
Hanneman down low, post trying to turn against Akpara, gets the block, back out to Destiny Artis. And Lainey Hanneman will swing it around for Macy Holland. She'll put it on the floor, hand it off for Destiny Artis. Watched by Herlovsky. Left side, got into trap, tied up nicely by Engel.
That'll be that Knights ball. They have the possession arrow.
Does that mean my microphone works? Shapiro? And a travel now by Engel. And a turnover right back to Coon Rapids.
Well, one of the things that Coach Bullock talked to me about was the things that they need to do to win this game, and that's ball security. You see a turnover there, and that's what they're trying to avoid in this situation.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No, Cardinals is number 4, Kylie Heffler.
He has it on. He's talking to you. He can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear him. I don't think you can.
Hanneman into the middle for Nicole Post. Post goes to the left hand and scores. And the Cardinals on the board. Fully functional television equipment now.
Yeah, we do. It's good.
Oh, and left alone in the middle is Akpora. And she scores quickly.
Yeah, they answered it quickly after that first basket by Post.
Hanneman had to track it down in the corner, then bumped by Herlovsky, and another foul against Irondale. You talk about them wanting to be aggressive defensively and really force the Cardinals out of their game, but that can get them in trouble if they start racking up the fouls early.
Well, it's all about body control.
Post back to Holland, high off the glass, misses. Akpara rips it away from Post. Looked like Post had the rebound, but Akpara wasn't going to give it up that easy. Engel trying to force it into Akpara. Artis got a piece of it, a scramble on the floor, a tie up, and the ball possession arrow favoring the Cardinals.
Well, Coon Rapids doing a good job forcing the turnover there. You're going to see Destiny Artis get a hand on it. Post in as well.
Hanneman pull-up jumper on the baseline, rattles around, out, off of Irondale. Kylie Hetwer into the game for the Cardinals. First substitution. Holland looks to inbound into the corner for Hetwer. A little head fake, got her some room, but the shot well off target, rebounded by Holland. She's tied up there by Scammahorn.
Well, again, good hands by the Irondale players to tie up that basketball and give them possession, leading 7-2. Coon Rapids trying to find a little bit of offense here early on in this first half.
Izzy Herlovsky brings it up court, left side for Elizabeth Hyatt. Hyatt gets around the pick. Artis got a hand in on the pass and knocks it away out of bounds.
Well, I know Coach Peterson wants her players to be aggressive as well and get in those passing lanes and disrupt what the Knights want to do.
Hyatt inbounds way up top for Jester. Jester finds room and spots up, takes her time, and drains another three.
Yeah, again, the Cardinals are going to have to be wary of that. In fact, put a player out on top of the key for guard Jester.
West outside, Hetwer for three. And that will go off the top of the backboard before dropping through the cylinder.
That's how she planned it. And that was a much-needed three-pointer.
Three-point attempt from the corner, no good, but long rebound to Hyatt. Baseline mid-range jumper is good for Scammahorn. West turning to the lane, tied up and fouled. Akpara felt she got all ball. Scammahorn was there as well, but it is going against Akpara.
And that's going to be her first, a team fourth here. Cardinals so far, not a foul to be had here in the first half, but relatively early on.
Inbound goes to post up near the free throw line. Right side for Flatham. Little ball fake, puts it on the floor. That pass deflected, but Hetwer recovers. Right side, Holland trying to get it into post. She's bumped, and another foul by Akpara, pleading her case. Coach Bullock pleading the case as well. But that's two quick ones on their leading scorer.
I don't know. I think they may have a case.
West right side for Flatham. Post trying to go over Akpara, got a piece of it. Scammahorn gets it back, and now Jester into the front court. Left side jumper from Morris won't fall. Hetwer the rebound, and the Cardinals on the run. Hetwer cuts back, goes to the lane. Jester stood her ground and made her change, but the rebound controlled by Hyatt and played out of bounds, so Cardinals get the ball on a turnover.
That time Hetwer trying to make something happen and approaching the basket, but tough to get that shot in from there.
Quick three by Flatham, that won't fall. Rebound grabbed by Holland, back inside looking for post. Akpara got the steal. Hyatt had it ripped away. Great defense by Lexi West. Pull-up jumper is off the mark. Post the rebound. Fadeaway won't fall. Rebound tip to Scammahorn. And now Jester will slow it down for the Knights.
Oh, the Cardinals had some nice looks, just couldn't get anything to drop.
Into the corner, open look for Hyatt, and she hit the three. 10-point lead for Irondale.
Cardinals defensively need to get out on the wings.
Third three-pointer already.
Yeah, you got to give her some trouble. You can't let her have that kind of time to set up.
Well, the one before, the one that's Jester's second, she had all night.
Yes.
To take a look. Post kicks it back out. Artis watched by Morris. Back into the post for post. Back out. Artis, little pump fake, gets inside and throws it high off the glass and in.
And a nice job by Destiny to get a little bit of a little height and a little arc on that shot.
Scammahorn had it ripped away by Artis. She's got Flatham with her, 2-on-1. Drove in hard. Ball was blocked by Jester, and a tie-up called. It'll be Coon Rapids ball.
A little out of control on that particular drive. Fortunately, they're able to reset, try and set something up offensively. And now with Akpara out of the lineup, they need to work a little more underneath.
Inbound pass tipped and taken away by Irondale, and then the first foul of the night going against the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Macy Holland picking up the infraction right there for the reach-in. Herlovsky to the front court. Left side for Morris. Morris working against Artis. A little pump fake, gives it back to Scammahorn into the Jester. Jester trying to get around the corner on Holland. Her pass batted away out of bounds by Laney Hanneman.
Yeah, I think just defensively, they're going to have to continue to trouble Irondale. We talked about the fact they can't give them open looks, but the most important thing is they also, too, can't break down underneath the basket.
Up top, Jester working her way to the right, picks up the dribble. Left side for Morris. Morris gets the block on Artis.
So that'll be her first, team second.
Herlovsky will inbound along the Cardinal baseline. Up top, Morris. Back to Jester. Holland defends. Trying to go right, spins back to the paint. Left-handed shot won't go. Rebound deflected to Hanneman. Hanneman back for Artis, up court, Flatham. Cardinals set, get it into Laney Hanneman, turns against Jester and gets the foul.
That's her second.
It's going to be a 2-shot trip to the line for Laney Hanneman.
Yeah, these are important free throws. Again, you're down by 8. You've got the momentum on the side of the Knights, and these are important free throws to make for Coon Rapids.
Able to make the first one clean. Second one in and out. Lane violation, though, means Hanneman will get another shot.
Lane violation. Lane will shoot again.
Won't make that one either. The rebound by Jester, trapped but gets it to Morris. Morris driving to the other end. Back out, Jester to Herlovsky. Thought about this shot, now puts it on the floor against Flatham. Out for Engel. Arcel Engel back out. Herlovsky, Morris up top. Test the right side, kick it out. Little pump fake by Engel, and then she is fouled as she gets to the lane. It's going to be the second one on Destiny Artis.
Yeah, Coach Pearson have to keep an eye on that situation. Certainly they need Destiny in this ball game. Defensively, she's a strong player for Coon Rapids.
Herlovsky goes up top to Engel. Looking for room to get it to the lane. Hands it back off to Scammahorn. Scammahorn's pass deflected and altered, and then no one there, and it's a turnover back to the Cardinals.
Points off of turnovers. Those are the important things here in this game. You get a stop, you need to score.
Hetwer, and now post back out. 3-pointer for Holland. That won't go. Jester the rebound. Long pass. Hanneman got a piece of it, and then a hard collision with Scammahorn, who hit the floor. Looks like everybody's okay. Nicole Post going to check back in. And with Akpara still on the bench for Irondale, Coon Rapids certainly the size advantage inside.
Well, the size, yeah, definitely, and that's why they want to try and take advantage of that while she's sitting on the bench, because she's tough to move underneath there.
Scammahorn working against Post, kicks it out to Herlovsky on the right wing. Morris, 3-pointer. That's not going to go. Engel able to scramble for the rebound. Back out, Herlovsky. Throws that one up off the mark. Engel is fouled on the follow-up, and will go to the line to shoot 2.
I think they'll get Flatham on. Yep, they'll get Flatham on that. So that will be her first, team fourth.
Engel hard off the back iron. Able to roll the second one home, and it's 16-8. Nicole Post swarmed by Irondale defenders, and they tie up another one and get the ball back.
Well, they have 3 defenders around her in this situation, and when that happens, I know it's tough you're going to have an open player. It's important that you try and kick it back out, but not that easy. Easier said than done. But they're taking 3 players inside.
Hanneman going to be called for the foul, and Morris going to the shooting line.
That'll be her first, team 5th. See it again, trying to get the shot off, and Hanneman's going to draw the foul.
A little long on free throw attempt number 1. And able to hit the second one cleanly. Pass off the hands of Post underneath, out of bounds, and the Cardinals turn it back over.
Trying to force, that time looked like they were trying to force that one in the middle.
A little more than midway through this first half. It's been Forest Lake in front since the first minute. They've hit 3 3-pointers. They've pushed the lead as high as 10. And the Cardinals really have not had any rhythm on offense. Jester thought about the 3. She's got 2 of their 3 triples. Engel for 3, that's short. Flatham punches the rebound to Post. Ahead for West. Cardinals with the numbers. Hetwer leaves it short. Morris the rebound. And Irondale moving the other way, and they've got Engel still down at the other end.
Yeah, she was grabbing her knee.
Not a good sign for the Knights. Araceli Engel has been a big piece for him early on in this contest.
Yeah, and she's scoring 7. She's their second leading scorer.
In a collision with her own teammate and just twisted the knee as she went down, bent back on it, and instantly in some pain. We certainly hope that she will be all right, at least able to smile. So
yeah, that's good.
A good sign to be certain the Chainer will take a look, make sure she's all right before she returns to action. Irondale with the ball, a 17-8 lead. Hyatt working high on the left side, wants to pass, gets it to Herlovsky. She drives right side of the lane, back up top. Hyatt guarded by West. Jester into the corner. Scamahorn avoids the pressure, kicks it across. Herlovsky for 3, well off the mark. Hetwer the long rebound. Hetwer drops it back for West. West, little floater, won't fall. Rebound by Hyatt.
The Cardinals are getting shots and they're missing, but they're not getting multiple opportunities. I give credit to Irondale for doing a good job of cleaning up the defensive boards.
Hyatt underneath, Scamahorn back up top. Jester for 3. This time it won't go. The rebound controlled by Scamahorn along the baseline. That shot may have been deflected. Rebound comes to Scamahorn. Another shot left short, out off of Hetwer. And the Knights will get another opportunity. Missy Jarmaluk in for the first time for the Knights. And a timeout, Irondale.
6:18 remaining, and Irondale holding a comfortable 17-8 lead, Joe. And you talked about it earlier, just no flow offensively for the Cardinals yet at this point in this game. And that's something that's got to concern Coach Peterson, because you're coming off a game against Duluth East where you put up 60 points, and here just 8 so far in this first half. I hope you catch us on YouTube when you can't make it to the live events. We're live on YouTube. Also, you can watch our archived games as well as Sports Night. The award-winning Joe Yun production.
You can also get all the other great programming from CTN on YouTube.
That is true. That is true. Community events and a lot of good stuff on our YouTube page at CTN.
Jester trying to get baseline. Will kick it back out to Morris. Here's Jester again working against Hanneman. Got a piece of the pass. Comes back to Jester.
Oh, where's the walk?
Right side, Jarmalik. Leaves it off. Hyatt into the middle and coughed it up. Lexi West back the other way for the Cardinals. Macy Howland inside looking for Nicole Post, and a pass a little too tall, and she's asking for the push. It did look as if she went up for the pass and was pushed from behind, but no foul called. Jester hands off to Herlovsky. Comes to the middle, tied up by West, and that'll get the ball back for the Cardinals.
There you see it. And the Cardinals have been playing pretty good defense as well. So you see West gets in there and ties up the basketball. One of Coach Peterson's keys is making shots, and they haven't been able to do that here so far. They've had some looks. They've had only one opportunity, no multiple chances on offensive possessions so far.
Well, really a lot of rushed shots and shots on the run. Foul on West as she was trying to get in and set the offense. It will put the Cardinals in the bonus, so a 1-and-1 opportunity for Lexi West.
Foul is going to be on Izzy Herlovsky. Her second.
Misses the front end. Morris the rebound for Irondale. She turns and runs. Left side, Hyatt goes around Holland. Baseline jumper is short. Holland the rebound, and she'll run back to the other end. Back for Destiny Artis. Sees a hole, takes it, and scores off the glass.
Yeah, and that's what Destiny brings to this team, not only defensively, but she has the ability to score as well. Cuts the lead to 7.
It's the first basket for either team in about 3 minutes or more. Pass tipped by West, taken away by Holland. Holland will get to the other end, give it to Artis, and she walked.
Flat them back
you don't see a lot of back-to-backs in the basketball schedule.
No.
And after the win last night up in Duluth, late night, I'm sure, coming home.
Well, it was an early game. It started at 6, but nonetheless, there's a foul on Hanneman. That'll be her second, team 6th.
Number 30, Lady Hanneman, her second personal. 16 fouls on Coon Rapids.
But then you wake up, you go to school, and
Yeah, it's a long
back
day.
to the grind.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd like to be able to bounce back a little bit better than so far a 10-point performance in the first half. It's ugly sweater night. They got to get into the spirit. Jester wants 3 more, and she has them. Back to a 10-point lead for Irondale.
Yeah, she's been very strong from beyond the arc tonight. She has 9 points, all threes.
Hanneman to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper is good. Artis nearly able to get the rip from Scammahorn, but then the foul called on the second attempt. Oh, it's going to be called against Nicole Post.
So that'll be her first.
So good it wasn't against Artis.
Yes.
But a 1-on-1 opportunity now for Annalise Scammahorn. She hits the first, earns the second. Second one in and out, post the rebound. Here's Hetwer, cross midcourt. Goes to her left hand, kicks it out to Artis. Right side and inside to post. Turnaround jumper is good.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Oak Power since she went. We haven't seen her back in the game, I don't believe, since she went out, and that's it's an underneath advantage for Coon Rapids, I believe.
Well, and with her having 2 early fouls,
right.
A travel called against Hyatt, turnover, but with them having a lead and her having the 2 fouls, they're happy to have her sit on the bench
right.
if they can maintain the lead. And again, they had it right back up to 10 points just moments ago. Holland drives, a little too much on it. Rebound comes loose. And then a tie-up, but a foul. It's going to go against Macy Holland, and it's going to put Morris at the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
I'm going to flat him.
Number 3 will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
Her second.
First one off the mark. Post has the rebound. Destiny Artis into the front court. Right side, Ashley Flatham. Back to Artis. Left side, Holland. Or Hetwer, rather. Hetwer turns, fires a 3. Nearly gets it to roll home. Great rebound by Macy Holland. And back out to Hetwer, and Artis will reset the offense. Three-pointer is off the mark for Flatham. The rebound this time by Scammahorn. And the Knights will get to the other end. And a foul before the shot.
That's on post. So that'll be her. No, that's
1-and-1
on
opportunity.
Holland. You saw the future. You knew they were going to call a foul on Holland, and they did.
Yeah, right. Soothsayer.
You are a soothsayer.
Jester hits the first, earns the second. And hits them both. 9-point lead for Irondale. Just about 2 minutes left in the first half. Post, short jumper off the glass and in.
And those are the kind of baskets they need. Now on defense, you look for a stop here.
Down low, Akpara turns into the pressure. Artis. Oh, and that's a big one. An offensive foul on Akpara.
That's 3.
And she's going to have to come out for the rest of the half now, you figure. Just back on the floor for a very short time. And they're double teaming her all the way. There you saw it, the second effort. Akpara, obviously the much larger player to Destiny Artis. Post, trying for her second chance, is fouled, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, she had 15 points last night in that win over Duluth East, and on buckets just like that, where she's trying to use her height underneath, especially with Okpara out of the lineup.
And that's a great sign. Just a sophomore in a goal post. Obviously a lot of height. Hits the first. She's got 7 points to lead the Cardinals. And she hits them both.
Yeah, with her and Hanneman in that lineup, they've got some size that they can use. Cuts the lead to 5.
Hyatt right side for Yarmolick. Tried to kick it back out. Hetwer did get a piece of it, so the Knights will maintain possession. Inbound to Skamahorn, left side, Jester. Working against Holland. Left hand looking to get it down to Morris along the baseline and does. Morris turns, tried to kick it back out, taken away. Macy Holland ahead for Kylie Hetwer, had to slow down, almost lost the dribble. Cardinals set up on offense. Pump fake. Holland to the Hetwer to the baseline, draws the foul. Will go to line and shoot 2. First one rattles out for Hetwer. Final minute here of the first half. Coon Rapids trailing by 5. And Hetwer able to make it 4.
That's 4 points for Hetwer so far here in this first half.
Hyatt hands off. Morris mishandles but gets it back. Leaves it for Yarmolick. Hetwer nearly had the steal. Hyatt back in control. Kicks it out to Yarmolick. Here's Morris working against Artis, trying to find her way into the lane. Now looking for help. Kicks it back out. Yarmolick, left side. Morris trying to find some room to the baseline. Pull up jumper, and she gets it to roll
that was
in.
a nice
5
basket.
seconds left. Hetwer before the buzzer. Whoa, nearly knocked it down. But it will be a 6-point lead for the visiting Knights as we reach the half. We'll take a break. Be back with some first half highlights after this.
Stay connected to what's happening in your community by watching CTN Update, with a new episode every Friday at 5 p.m. From your local city and county government to what's happening in our schools to interesting stories on the people and events here at home, we've got it all covered. CTN Update, keeping you connected to your community.
Coach Peterson back on the bench, looking for her team to respond here in the second half.
Well, we definitely saw more offensive success towards the end of that second half for the Cardinals, and that's what they're going to want to try and do here again. Get stops on defense.
West on the ground trying
Quick
to get
foul.
to the ball, and an early foul against the Cardinals.
That'll be her first. Of course, team first.
Both teams, I think, a few more fouls than they would like
Yes.
in the first half. Skamahorn back to Jester. Jester thinking about it from a long way out, and instead, right side to Kamori Morris.
She must be the court jester.
Jester into Hyatt. Little short jump shot for Skamahorn. And a good patient possession for Irondale, finding the open shooter and a relatively easy basket.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing in that first half. They were moving the ball around. They were hitting, we talked about hitting some threes too. That's why stops on defense are so important for Coon Rapids.
West steps up, knocks it down.
Nice aggressive move by Lexi West as she's able to drive the lane and the nice stop. The defense didn't come up and she was able to put it down.
Hyatt will take the 3 and nail it. Her second from beyond the arc. Lead back to 9.
Again, got to get a hand in their face on defense. Coach Peterson wasn't happy with that effort defensively from her squad.
Nicole Post in the post, kicks it out. Lainey Hanneman from 17 feet. That won't fall. Rebound punched back to Nicole Post. Turns to her left. Shot comes up short. Hyatt had it out off of Hyatt's foot, and a Coon Rapids basketball. West inbounds to Post, ripped away. Tie-up called before the steal was complete, so Cardinals will keep it thanks to the possession arrow. And that's what really frustrated him early in that first half was the aggressive Irondale defense.
Yep.
A lot of quick hands for the Knights players, forcing a lot of turnovers. Post in the post, turns against Jester, high off the glass, won't fall. Rebound controlled by Scammahorn. She pushes it to Morris, who can bring it up court.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of that in the first half.
Jester, long 3, off the glass and in.
That's huge. She has 14 to lead all scorers.
Foul called against Lainey Hanneman. Offensive.
That's her third.
And that means she'll be
Yep.
spending some time on the bench here in the second half. Morris kicks it back out. Hyatt hands off to Jester. Morris on the left side. Hyatt for 3. It's good. No, it's a long 2.
Nonetheless, the lead now is 14 for Irondale, and their shooting percentages here are very good this
And
evening.
the Cardinals turn it right back over. Jester down court. Herlovsky fouled underneath. She'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Is that on Artis?
Yep.
That'll be 3 on her. So now the Cardinals, not only are they trailing by 14, they're starting to get into some foul trouble. 2 of their starters.
Timeout Cardinals.
Yeah, and probably
a smart one, down 14 early in this half.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed to calm things down a little bit. You know, I think coming in, Joe, this was an opportunity that Coon Rapids felt like they had a good shot to get a win. And certainly there's plenty of time left, but they're in a pretty big hole at this point. And so it's got to be a little disappointing for that coaching staff where this team stands here with 15:24 remaining in the second half, down by 14.
This time out, the coaches stepping back, letting the players talk amongst themselves, get themselves back into that mentally prepared state to try and push their way back into this contest.
Well, sometimes self-correction, you know, if they see some things that they can work on, self-correction is good in this situation. Let them talk it out.
So 2 free throws for Izzy Herlovsky. First one is short. Able to hit the second one. Push the lead to 15. Macy Holland crossing over against Scammahorn, hands it off. And now Artis for 3, that's off the mark. Long rebound to Hetwer in the corner, back to Artis flat him for three. That won't fall. Post had the rebound, but then it bounced to Holland. That won't go. Post is blocked. Holland is blocked. Holland is fouled. And will go to the line to shoot two.
Well, you got to like the fact they have multiple opportunities. Unfortunately, they couldn't buy a bucket in that situation. And it looks like Holland holding her wrist. But one of those things they weren't getting in the first half is multiple looks.
Holland only able to hit one. Jester with the rebound for Irondale. Quickly to the other end. Hyatt back to Jester. Working against Holland. Little scoop shot. She finds the net.
Coach Bullock told me that Jester is one of those players that's just started on the cusp of being a strong leader on this team, and you can see it, 16 points on the evening so far.
Well, with their leading scorer sidelined in foul trouble since early in the first half, she's definitely picked up the slack and has kept her team in front all game long. Rebound out off of Irondale. Holland up top. Artis back to Holland in the corner. Post back out. Artis back into post. And she's fouled by Jester.
And that'll be her third. And that's a big foul for the Knights.
Nicole Post will go to the line to shoot two. Second one won't fall for Post. Long rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Irondale. So Coon Rapids, another chance on offense. Down 15.
Yes. Gamhorn came over and really knocked that ball away from her teammate. It looked like they were going to get that rebound. And fortunately for the Cardinals, that happened.
Post turns in against Jester. Nice move
Nice
to find
move.
Groove to hit the basket.
Yeah, really nice move to fake the defense and able to get a good look at it.
Post gets a hand in the passing lane. Tip to Hetwer. Hetwer on the run. Hetwer can't make it fall. Holland a second chance. That won't go. The rebound by Hyatt. Pushes it up court to Morris. Morris will slow it down and then drive to the baseline. Throw up a prayer that wasn't answered, and Post easily has it.
Yeah, she was way too far underneath the basket for that shot.
Three-pointer for Hetwer is good.
Big three-pointer, cuts the lead to 10. Hetwer with 7 points on the night.
Long three from Hyatt. That one won't go. The rebound by Artis. She looks up court. Flatham drives. Jester blocks it away out of bounds.
Again, that's what they want. They got that defensive stop, and now you got to put points. You're digging yourself out of a hole. But it's important to get points down here.
Holland inbounds to Flatham on the right wing. Back to Holland in the corner. Thought about the shot. Steps in. Dumps it off for Post. Post back to the left. Got her own rebound. Got the foul on Morris, and will go to the line to shoot two. It's going to be number 3 on her. So 3 players now for Irondale with 3 fouls.
Oak Power are going to check back in at the next opportunity with her 3 personals.
Post hits the first. Well, you're in a position where you're Irondale. You have to have at least Jester or Akpara out there
right,
with 3 fouls.
Well, and you talked about it earlier in this game. You know, she got those fouls early, but Irondale's playing with the lead, so it afforded her the position of sitting on the bench.
Post second off the mark.
There's a travel there.
Everyone in the building saw it that is not wearing gray. Scamoran, a nice move, but then blocked away by Post. Nearly thrown away. And then this is going to be a foul on Destiny Artis. Crashing for the week.
That's her
for the loose ball.
That's her fourth. Nice block by Post.
It's a lot of limbs there.
Yeah, she's having a nice contest. And there you're going to see, we're not going to continue on, but the foul was called against Destiny Artis. With her fourth, she'll be on the bench for a while.
Okpara gives it back to Jester, looking for a spot around the arc. Okpara bowls over Flatham, no foul. Rebound comes to Hetwer, though. West to Hetwer, pull up three. That one won't go. The rebound by Flatham. That's partially blocked by Hyatt. Then Hyatt lost the rebound. Everybody's tumbling on the floor. Nicole Post had Okpara go right over her. It looks like she's going to be okay, fortunately.
Yeah,
it's going to be, after all that, Coon Rapids basketball.
Yeah, she did. Okpara went right over the top of her, and she took a hard fall to the floor, but she bounced back, seems to be okay. You can see it right here. I got an elbow to the face.
Looks like she got a knee to the jaw.
Or an elbow, I thought, but nonetheless, can't feel good.
Trying to force it in. That's number 4. And I don't know how you argue that one.
You can't.
You physically pick the player up and move them when they tried to pass it in. Some of the others against Okpara I thought were maybe a little questionable. That one, not so much.
Well, yeah, and you take,
Well, she's twice the size of Nicole Post, and as soon as the pass was coming in, she just kind of moved her out of the way.
You know, and your leading scorer is now on the bench with 4 personals, only 2 points on the night.
That pass a little out of the reach of Post. Recovered by Yarmolik, and now here's Jester running the floor the other way. Got into the middle and kicks it out to Herlovsky. Three-pointer for Jester is a little long. The rebound. And now Herlovsky for 3 from the other side. She hits.
Yeah, tough to defend that. That after that miss, you can't get the defensive rebound, and it goes right back to her, and she drains it.
3 3-pointers here in this half for Irondale. 7 in the game. Hetwer wants another 3. That won't fall. Long rebound to Hyatt. And Hyatt is going to take it right in Flatham and then blocked away, but they're going to call the offensive foul before the block.
You're going to see it here. Extends the arm.
And then ran into a tree named Nicole Post. Good defensive support from the sophomore. It's a 12-point deficit for Coon Rapids as Kylie Hetwer comes into the front court. Trapped along the edge. Tried to get it out off of Jester, but it went back off Hetwer and out, so a turnover back to Irondale. Morris to Herlovsky in the corner, wants another 3. This time it won't fall. Yarmolik the rebound. She's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
They'll call this one on Holland. And again, just a nice job of getting that offensive rebound and going back up and getting that opportunity. That's her 3rd.
Yarmolik's first is a little long. Jenny and Tomboy getting her first action tonight. Just a freshman getting into the Cardinal lineup. And a foul is going to be called underneath. Post went up for the rebound, and Annalise Scamahorn called for the push.
She was surprised that she got called to foul. She looked at the official and go,
Her
what
third.
did I do?
Well, rarely do they not look surprised. Hetwer to Lexi West, back to Hetwer on the right side. Post in the corner. Cross court for Lainey Hanneman, back up top for West. Hetwer for three, in and out. Hanneman the rebound, puts it back home.
Nice positioning underneath by Laney. She was able to get that miss off of the Hetwer three-point attempt. Put it back in, lead is 10.
Yarmolick back to Jester, moving to her left. Up top, Herlovsky working against Lexi West. Into the post. Jester forced back to the corner by Ntombwe. Bad pass taken away by by Hetwer. Hetwer drives in, gets a foul before hitting the floor hard and a little slow to get up.
Yeah, she's going to try to go between. Yeah, and she got close.
That was a pretty easy call. Scamahorn didn't argue that one.
No.
But that's her fourth. Hetwer hits the first. Scamahorn will come out for a little while with her 4 fouls, replaced by Hyatt. Hyatt having a nice game. She's just a freshman for Irondale. Hetwer hits them both. Lead down to 8 for Irondale as Hyatt brings it into the front court. Lexi West out to defend. Working right side, Yarmolick against Ntombwe. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess she's a relative of Gael.
I would think so.
Say there's a strong chance.
I bet it's their brother and sister.
Big steal for Lexi West at the other end. Not able to finish. Flying rebound by Yarmolick, tied up by Holland, but the possession arrow favoring the Knights.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. Lexi had a good road to the basket and just couldn't get it to drop.
Jester works all the way to the left side, and then she's fouled by Ntombwe. Ntombwe in good position, just got a little piece of her.
So that'll be her first, team 6th.
Nicole Post back in.
You know, Jester only comes into this game under 4 points a game is her average, already at 18.
Pushes the lead back to 10. West kicks it out, and Ntombwe back up top. Hetwer gets it back to Ntombwe. Holland into post, working against Jester. Jester, big block. And the tie-up is... Post brought her down. Post called with the foul. Yeah, you can't sweep the leg.
Nope. That's her second, team 7th.
That'll put Jester at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Jenny and Tomboy back to the bench. Maybe we get a chance to say I love her number.
34.
Jester hits the first, earns the second. Hits them both. She's got 20 in the game. And the lead is 45-33 with 8:21 to play.
Yeah, Cardinals were able to get it under double digits, but give credit to Irondale doing a good job, especially from the free throw line, getting that number back up.
West looking for some room left side, trying to get it into post, nearly taken away. Good hustle by Nicole Post to get it back. Left side, West, and Jester just went up and took that pass away. Yeah, she's having a ball game.
Yeah, she really is.
Hyatt kicks it out. Jester thought about 3, puts it on the floor instead, working against Macy Holland. Back to Hyatt. Baseline jumper is good.
Yeah, you mentioned that's her 10th. That's her 10th point of the night. She is having a good contest as well for the Knights.
West, good look to find Holland at the back door. Shot won't fall. Gets a second chance, and that one will.
Good job staying with it.
Jester cross midcourt. Timeout, Irondale. Their lead 47-35.
Yeah, it's surprising to me that Jester, who came in at 3.4 points per game with 20, you wouldn't think that would be her average, but she certainly is having a fine evening, on both sides ends of the court. Look at that.
Dave Ibby!
Hairless in Coon Rapids.
You can do it too, Shapiro.
I will never.
If Dave can do it, you can
well, see,
too.
I shaved mine once. It grew back in a day. So it's like.
So then why not try it out?
My biggest problem is it's going to come back with even more gray hair. So I like it, Dave. His upper lip is a little chilly, but nonetheless,
we
I
like having Dave here with a mustache or without.
He was my mustache buddy.
Right?
Yeah. He needs to grow it back.
Macy West in some pain, left hand, already had a brace on the thumb, in some definite pain being attended to by the trainer on the Coon Rapids bench. Irondale with the ball and a 12-point lead, 7:10 to play second half. Inbound goes to Jester. Wow, from way outside. That time, not so much. She was almost there, just barely off to the left. Post traveled before the shot.
Yeah, again, took that one extra step. You know, in the car, I like the thought of getting the ball underneath to her because right now the Cardinals have the size advantage.
Yarmolick to Hyatt, high on the right side. Steps up, hands off to Herlovsky. Gets to the free throw line, and her jump shot is good.
Yeah, Irondale's shooting percentage has been very good tonight.
A lot of open looks.
Yeah, a lot of open looks, correct.
High post, post turns, shoots, scores.
She has 14. 15 last night against Duluth East, already 14 with a little over 6 minutes remaining.
Herlovsky. Hands off, Jester finds the right side, blocked away by Post, saved by the Knights, and then lost by, knocked away by the Cardinals out of bounds. I thought Hyatt just lost the handle there, but Hanneman got a hand in on the ball.
Destiny Artist back into the game with her for 4 personals.
Inbound goes to Yarmolick, back to Jester. Jester trying to find his shooting spot, gives it up to Hyatt at the top of the key. Hanneman extends on defense, right side Herlovsky. On the floor, working against Hetwer, backs out in the corner. Now up top, Yarmolick a little pump fake. Now backs away, back to Herlovsky. Outside, Hyatt. Morris, head fake. Put it on the floor, lost the handle, goes to the floor, tied up. Possession arrow favors Coon Rapids.
Well, Cardinals with 5:30, a little over 5:30 remaining in this game, down by 12. They have to, again, get those stops and make some baskets, but it's getting to a tough situation here in this point of the game.
Right side, Hetwer, back across, Artis into the corner, Holland, three-pointer won't fall, long rebound by Flatham, three-pointer Hetwer. That won't go, rebound tipped by Holland, but controlled by Yarmolick, and here come the Knights. Jester, great bounce pass, but Hyatt couldn't get the angle. Post the rebound, and Artis pushing it up the floor the other way. Under 5 minutes to play, Coon Rapids trails by 12. They need to get a big push right now. Stepping in is Hetwer and hitting the jump shot.
A nice job by Hetwer just to step past the defender and drop the soft little shot. She has 11.
Morris trying to weave through traffic. Left-handed hook won't go. Rebound out of bounds off the Cardinals. And here comes Okpara.
And the Cardinals are going to call timeout. Talk
Coon
about
Rapids
things.
timeout.
Yep. Well, the Cardinals have had that advantage underneath, but now with Okpara coming back in, of course, I think they'll try and go after her a little bit with their 4 personals. Joe, Irondale hot from beyond the arc. They their percentages are very good tonight. And that young lady right there has been leading the way in terms of shots from the outside. Again, we're going to see one more from her.
Yeah,
she's
she's
dropped that one.
Yeah, you're definitely going to champion a player that goes out and gets 20 when she's averaging 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's a
your
nice
leading
night for her.
scorer, gets out early in foul trouble. Here's Jester for 3 more, and
Wow.
she's got him.
Yeah, she's been unconscious from beyond the arc. And that's what the Cardinals cannot afford.
Hetwer trying to answer, it won't fall. Morris the rebound. She's tripped up by Post.
That'll be her 3rd. And she'll go to the line.
1-and-1 opportunity for Kamori Morris.
From the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Number 5.
Front end won't go. Okpara got the rebound, then lost the handle in traffic. She had 4 Cardinals around her.
Well, she probably can't play her normal game because of the 4 personals.
Hetwer's shot won't fall. Hanneman had the rebound. Second chance didn't go. And Peterson wants a foul. Won't get it.
A little animated.
Under 4 minutes with a 13-point lead, Irondale has the ball. Coon Rapids in desperation mode. Jester to Morris. Looked inside, but Okpara not quite ready. Jester pressured by Holland along the sidelines, gets it to Herlovsky.
And surely the Knights can just take their time, working time off the clock.
Absolutely no reason to rush a shot.
If you get an
Wait for the open look.
Yep.
Morris right side for Herlovsky. High post, turning is Akpara into the corner. Morris back up top to Hyatt. Morris lost the handle. Pass was a little high. Turnover back to Coon Rapids.
But they did take value time
Well,
off
they
the
took
clock.
almost a minute off the clock. Artis for three. Won't fall. Hanneman gets the rebound. Can't get the second chance to go. Okpara got the rebound and gets fouled. She got a
Poke in the
finger
eye.
in the eye that wasn't called. And then a foul a little bit later, but she'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1.
We'll see at the end. And it's, again, awful tough to wrestle that ball away from her. I think they found her contact.
They take
Coach
it over
Bullock
to Coach
going,
Bullock.
What do I do? What am I going to do with this?
Right. That's what you have assistants and managers
Exactly.
for. I think the referee asked, do you want to take a minute and put it back in? She said, no, I'm all right. I can see. They need to rinse it.
Yeah.
Okpara misses it,
And she's
going to be done, so.
Yeah, she's aggressive underneath. You
Yeah,
can see
she's
the push.
clearly bothered by losing the contact.
I know what that's like.
And too, I'm sure it still stings a little bit. She did get a finger in the eye.
She did. Pop that contact right out.
Not the game she was hoping for tonight, but she'll take it. Her team up by 13 with only 2.5 to play. She fouls out. Post hits the first and earns the second. Second is off the mark, but we've got a lane violation. Called against Coon Rapids, so no. Called against Irondale, so no, now they're okay.
No,
it is called against Coon
Cardinals.
Rapids,
Yep.
and they are going to give the Knights the ball along the baseline. Jester to inbound. .150 seconds remaining in this contest. A 12-point lead for the Knights. Knights trying to get their record back to even at 3-3. Cardinals were hoping to do the same. Post got a piece of that. Hanneman had a hand in it, rolls it to Post. Cardinals get it on the steal. Holland back to Post. Artis down to 2 minutes left. Hatworth steps out, shoots the three. It's short. Hyatt the rebound. Hyatt trying to get through traffic. Pass taken away by Artis, thrown up by Holland, and she scores.
That's the lead is 10, a minute 45 remaining. And Hetworth's going to pick up the foul.
Well, Cardinals in that position where
they
they're
have to.
pretty much forced to a minute 42 remaining. Berlovsky at the line, shooting two, double bonus for Irondale. There'll be 2 shot fouls from here on out.
Elise Scamhorn back in for the Knights.
Second one is off the mark, post the rebound. But then a steal by Scamahorn, and she gets the foul. It's going to go against Laney. No, it is going to go against Destiny Artist. That's going to be her fifth. She'll be done. Either one of them, both she and Laney Hanneman were the two there. One of them was fouling out. Second one off the mark. Good save by Jester, but Holland gets to the ball first. Runs the court, throws it up off the glass and in.
Hey, well, the glass is your friend sometimes, and that time she was able to drop that, and she has 7.
Holland called for the foul, and Jester will go to line to shoot 2. Timeout Cardinals, 1:18 remaining. The lead 10 for Irondale.
Yeah, it's been double digits for a while. Able to build that lead up. Cardinals running out of time with 1:18 remaining.
Not what the Cardinals were hoping for in their little homecoming.
Cardinals will be right back here on Tuesday to take on Champlain Park.
A much taller task.
Yeah. I think that was a big part of the fact they were hoping to get this win tonight because they knew they had a tough game coming up on Tuesday night as well.
So Jester to shoot 2. Hits the first. Second one rolls out, tip to post. Holland hands off to Hetworth. Back to Holland. Flatham down low, post, turns. Can't get it to go. Second chance won't fall. Hanneman an opportunity. She's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. We're under a minute to play.
Again, getting second and third opportunities, but being forced to earn them from the stripe.
Fourth personal of the night on Kamori Morris. Holland's first, rattles around and out. Hanneman's, sorry. Second one, same result. Post had the rebound, lost the handle out of bounds, turnover back to Irondale. Jester trying to get into the front court. She's bumped. And we'll go back to the line to shoot 2, and that's number 5 on Hanneman.
Going to the line for the Knights will be number 15, Jester.
Rory Ritzenaya getting into the contest. Her first chance, she's just a freshman. Jester hits the first.
Yeah, with a lot of foul trouble, you're ending up putting players in your bench that normally don't get a lot of time.
And Jester hits them both. 26 points in the contest for Jester. And her team with an insurmountable lead. That one.
It popped her balloon.
Pass was too high, had some steam on it, and there was a young lady there with a balloon, and it popped her balloon.
That's great.
A lot of laughs on the sidelines. Yeah. Good to get a jovial.
Let's see it again.
Something jovial after this game.
We're not going to catch
you
it.
see the balloon hitting the floor. Something to smile about at the end of a contest like this is certainly important. That's number 5 on Macy Holland.
Yeah, you need some of those light moments in this situation.
And here comes Ntombwe back on the floor. So the 2 freshmen on the varsity roster back both on the floor right now for the Cardinals. Ntombwe and Ritzenaya. And Jester continues to add to her total. Hits them both.
28.
She scored the last 5. 3-pointer won't go. Nice rebound. Post got blocked, and then Post the foul on. She came in a little out of control towards Missy Jarmaluk.
Yeah,
Jarmaluk will go to the line to shoot 2.
That'll be 4 on Post. You see coming a little too hot.
Line for Irondale, number 20, Steve Jarmaluk.
Jarmaluk a little too much on the first opportunity. That one won't fall either. The rebound to Ritzenaya. Into the front court. Right side, Hetwer for 3. That's long. Post tried to track it down, but can't. 2.2 remaining. And with an inbound, this game will be over.
Yeah, and it's a tough loss for the Cardinals because they felt that coming in this is a winnable game for them, and really just not in the contest.
That it should end up in the hands of Irondale's number 15. Clearly, Kaylin Jester, the star of the contest, with 28 points.
Yeah, she, when your leading scorer is in trouble, foul trouble, this is a great opportunity for her to step up. We talked about only averaging 4 points a game with 28 on the night, and that's picking up the slack when your number 1 isn't contributing because of foul trouble.
A nice night really for Nicole Post. In the loss at 15 points. Cardinals chipped away at that lead a couple of different times again in the second half, but the perimeter shooting for Irondale kept them from ever being in serious danger of coughing it up.
No, they did.
Kylie Hetwer's 3-pointer from the corner, the only 3-pointer of the night for Coon Rapids.
Did a really nice job of moving the ball around the perimeter, but a really nice job of percentage shots by Irondale tonight, and that was that's what did the Cardinals in.
Sorry, Hetwer had 2 3-pointers in the game, but those were the only 2. So look at what we have coming up for you. Next Tuesday, boys hockey taking on Providence Academy. boys basketball against Blaine next Friday, and then boys basketball against St. Paul Humboldt on Thursday the 27th. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse. It's Irondale 59, Coon Rapids 44. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Mr. Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Saying goodnight.